for you this time. Are you ready for some rando? And we start off right away. 5-bomb upgrade in the Link's house, and Ninban finding a triple bomb pack right away in the sanctuary chest.
So that's going to help out for a early village check as Zaen is heading in towards the escape, carrying that sign as his best weapon available.
Indeed, hoping to get that early tree pull. Ninban setting up for the Houlihan room. Gonna get those early rupees just to be safe. And what do we find in the tree? Just some hearts. Not what he was hoping for.
Safety tree today, not a bad play, especially if we don't see any bottles or invincibility items early on.
Indeed, let's see what Uncle's got for us here. And he finds just a piece of heart to start off here. Not getting an early good run here as Ninban hits into the Houlihan room, getting his rupee count. Let's see what Uncle's chest is hiding over here in the front. And just more bombs. Got another triple bomb pack.
Zaen doing a save it quick, gonna try somewhere else. Looks like he's gonna go Sanctuary and possibly do a Houlihan maybe himself.
We shall see. We'll see what he gotta do. Well, then again, he may feel like he may not need it because he's got 6 bombs now, and that's mainly what we want to get the early rupees for. He might just say, yep, he's gonna opt to do Lumberjack and Lost Woods check.
And Ninban is coming into village from the south side, so north versus south, which is gonna pay out today.
Shall see soon enough. Zaen now heading up, gonna check that Lumberjack, get some early knowledge here. Will Aghanim be required? And what will he find in the Kakariko village?
Meanwhile, Ninban's gonna check out the race game first, see if that's available.
Nope, just a piece of heart, so no, it is not. Normally, it's these in Keysanity. I've seen a lot more runners just run the race game, but Ninban opting not to do so. We'll see what we find here. Oh, we've got a sword in the Lumberjack. Could that come into play? And I could not see what was there in the library. Oh, it was a shield. Okay, I just checked the restream.
Yep, so sword and shield found, but they're blocked by various things.
Indeed, and looks like we're going to have our forest check here for Zaen. Ninban now buying some bombs from the from the shop. And in the forest, we find 50 rupees up here in the mushroom spot. He's going to go ahead and pick that up, having some extra money early on. Not a bad idea.
Yep, he is at 190, still be able to pay off the bottle vendor, see if he has anything useful. As back of bar, just $5.
Oh, and we've got a map in the forest that he's hide out. Map of Swamp Palace, so won't be useful now, but later on, that could come in handy.
Of course, with Keysanity, those maps will tell you what can be found on the bosses of the various dungeons, pendant, crystal-wise. Compasses have their own usage, though.
Compasses will let you know how many chests you've opened in a dungeon. Not as useful for these runners, but still never not a bad thing to find, as we found a piece of heart there in the chicken shack.
Helpful on our end, of course, when you have to double or triple dip a dungeon, and the rupees loss of 95 for that bomb or that bottle vendor.
Talk about a scam, as both of runners now heading into different major hotspots here in Kakariko. Ninban finding, Beatorp hiding there in the well, as he's going to check the back. We're going to see a lot of items very quickly here, and just a single rupee in the back. 5-arrow upgrade. We got a small key to Thieves Town. Mirror! Nice find. Map to Desert Palace. And a small key to Pod.
That's one of 6, and of course, with the current version of Logic, you really want to make sure you have enough keys to do Pod, because that soft lock is so...
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say it, we love the Power Glove, because it is indeed so bad.
Hammer equals Dark World?
Well, they still need Moon Pearl as well, but still.
And with the mirror this early, if they can get Dark World access from the rest of the village, we could be in for a jet seed.
Well, let's not jump the gun on that one, JTN. We still got a lot of items to find. We still got a lot of places to check. Let's see. To be fair, I don't think we've seen enough to call this a jet seed just yet, but still, Mirror and Power Glove, certainly not a bad find at all.
So both arrows just pretty much swap places and getting 5 chests each in those 2 locations.
And now Zaen getting the scam there. You're probably not happy about that discovery.
Ninban's going to head up into the woods while Zaen is going down towards the library and race games. So, where are these runners going to go to next? Is it going to be early escape, or are we going South Shore route?
Difficult to say. They don't have any weapons yet, and and Zaen especially does not really have that many bombs. He might pick some up on the way to make sure he's stocked up for when he gets to the mini Moldorm cave. Oh, we're gonna have an early sick kit check. And ooh, now that's a little better. 300 rupees this early on. Not a bad find.
4 more of those later. We'll see them perhaps as... There is that
Ninban
bomb shop over by the lake. They might use that for bombs, possibly.
They might, but then again, he has 7, so he may feel like, oh, and there's another one, so he might be good to go. But indeed, he is heading over to the east. Will he go over? Oh, I don't really check. Desert Palace is a crystal. So good knowledge early on, and he's heading straight to the Eastern Palace area. Got to check Sir Hassela's closet. And of course, Eastern Palace itself. Got to save the South Shore for when they have a weapon.
And that Desert Crystal, by the way, just a standard one, not one of the 5 or 6 needed to get the big bomb for the pyramid.
Nope, we still don't have that information, but Ninban can find out where the green pendant is hiding if he talks to Hassela, and it is hiding in Pod.
Right location, wrong world.
Indeed. What do we have in Sir Hassela's closet today? We have triple bombs, hook shot, and a big 20. Now, Ninban with a more reliable weapon here, and Zaen is going to go ahead and head to the back of Escape. Going to see what 3 items that has to hold. We're starting to see some major divergence here as Ninban heads his way over to Eastern Palace. We don't know what's waiting for them in there. And we don't even know if it's a viable dungeon. Now, bear in mind, with Keysanity, we do not know if it's crystal or pendant. Ooh, we have literacy, a map to Skull Woods, and a small key to Misery Mire hiding out in the back of his gate. But as I was saying, normally with Randomizer, since you have the information ahead of time if crystals or pendants are involved, the music would be changed to a fit it. But here with the Keysanity, the music is also randomized. So even if it's a pendant dungeon, it could be playing crystal music. So you cannot rely on it to tell you whether or not a dungeon is a crystal or a pendant. All right,
Ninban got a nice enemy drop earlier, filling up the magic. That could come into play if they find their first major weapon besides that hookshot being something that requires magic, as Zaen is in the South Shore area.
Yep, Ninban finding a big 20 earlier there in Eastern. Still not finding much yet, but then again, he's just getting started. Still got 3 more chests to check. And let's see what item has been sitting in there, sogging it up in the lake. And we have Heart Container. He may pick that up this early on, considering we don't have much health. We'll see. And he also finds a big key to Desert Palace. We have the book. We have the big key. All we need is a fire source, and Desert Palace is looking really good.
And if they find the small key, that fire source might actually be in the desert of all things, which that would mess people up big time.
Absolutely. Zaen now heading into the mini Moldorm cave. He's got a few bombs. Ooh, we have flute here in Eastern Palace.
Strike up the band, get the national anthem ready to go.
Indeed, the goose will soon be loose there for Ninban. And Zaen having a little trouble with this last mini Moldorm over here. There he goes. He's got it now. Let's see what 5 items await inside. We have triple bombs, the bow. We have big key to Turtle Rock, the other single rupee, and another big 20. So big find there for Zaen.
Mini Moldworm Cave lately becoming the new hype cave, the old hype cave just being questionable value in my
I would argue that the Paradox Cave is more of the new hype cave in my honest opinion, but that's just me. Though the Mini Moldorm Cave is certainly not a bad place to check. Ninban now working on the dark rooms over here. Without the lamp, it's a little tricky, but with Eastern, it's one of the easier ones, so very few runners will not do the dark rooms in Eastern.
As the filthy scrub that I am when it comes to playing this myself, these are the only dark rooms I can actually do, so.
I rest my case. Even don't worry, I'm a filthy casual and I still do them. So that should tell you something. As Zaen now gonna head into the Ice Rod Cave, and Ninban trying to damage boost his way through, goes through, finds a small key to Pod, and Zaen finding a big 20 in the Ice Rod Cave.
So we're up to 2 of 6 on the pod key check. And wouldn't be surprised if our runners basically pull a switch places here as they both save and quit.
Yeah, though Ninban a little further away from where he needs to go. He needs to go down to the South Shore and get that bow. Since odds are good, at least desert or pod or Eastern will be a crystal. I mean, there's a chance it could be both pendants, but odds are slim on that. So you want to at least get that bow ahead of time.
I think he's going to route that in after Sick Kid since he's heading back to the village.
Could be
This is
possible.
300, so.
Zaen now heading into Eastern. He's going to find all that information that Ninban found earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Ninban now activating his flute. And something I always like to say when we get this done, ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose! And I think that's where you're right about Ninban rounding that in. Now he can just immediately flute over to the dam, save himself a lot of time there, even opposed to saving and quitting. So that's a really good play for him.
Watch those cash counts. Zaen is getting close to 500. Ninban's over. Could we see a Zora play?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I don't think they'll be too quick to go to it because they don't have the Moon Pearl, which means they would only have Zora available to them. I don't see that being the case here. So the big question, of course, comes down to what item or key is going to be the Uber Troll in this seed, because there's always the one. There's always that one item that just does not want to give itself up.
I'm just glad it's not the bow for once. I mean, in open mode, how often did you see the bow on Laser Bridge? I mean, come on.
Too many times. Well, maybe not so much on Laser Bridge, but I cannot count on both hands how many times I've seen the bow be the troll item. And that's just in the races I commentated, not to mention all the other races that have been out there in those tournaments.
Though the item collection here looking pretty good at 13 minutes in, I gotta say.
In terms of items, yeah, I mean, we've got bow, hook shot, power glove, mirror, and book, as well as one bottom bottle and flute. So pretty good setup of items here for both of our runners as they're both starting to cross paths. The question is, what does that open up for them? Honestly, I think the best call they can make is Death Mountain. They can flute up there. I mean, they'll sequence break to get the old man, but then they have that hook shot, which means East Death Mountain is wide open for them.
Yep, take that route and then hopefully find your light source. Head over into Inducta 7. Check Agna on your way to Desert. That seems like the plan right now.
Also, I got a comment on Song Leaves in chat here. Ninban's not cheating. If anything, he's doing the exact opposite with a constantly invisible spray. He's in hard mode. Because certain tricks that he might be doing later on are harder to do with an invisible link sprite. So this is not cheating. This is hard mode.
So what happens if Ninban gets the cape? Does it become visible?
You know, I've always asked that question, and unfortunately, I don't think it's ever happened. I'd love to see that one day.
Agassi because of cape to access the tower? Maybe.
Well, we haven't found anything of significance yet to do that. We haven't found any sword. Well, we found one, but we can't get to it just yet. And we found the power glove, but we haven't found a cape or anything of the like. And what's more important, but the other question is, we have not seen the Moon Pearl in play yet. We got to find that eventually. I think it's going to be up in Death Mountain.
Now, if we've got gloves, if we pull mitts, also Dark Death Mountain adds a lot of items, especially with hookshot caves. So, a lot of potential up there and good item density. As Zaen is getting ready to send the duck amok, all rise, please.
There we go. The goose now loose for Zaen here. Ninban gonna fly. And he's gonna head over to the desert area to start off. Gonna check the desert ledge and we find, oh, there's our Titans mitts. They're in desert. And Ninban is gonna take that cue. He is going right on in.
Okay, so I had the right logic, just the wrong order. I'm okay with this.
Still not a bad play. And Zaen is gonna go ahead and head into the dungeon area of escape, which means he can find some stuff that Ninban has not discovered yet. This could be interesting.
So the pattern of this race has pretty much been they diverge, they change places. They diverge, they change places. Now they've diverged. Are they going to change places again?
We'll see. Ninban now going to check out the chest, the upper chest here in desert. Let's see what he finds. It's just a bit 20. And he's going to probably also check to see what's on the torch and find out if boots are going to be required later on. We've got another 300 rupees for Zaen. Oh, quack, quack. We've got the Quake medallion on the torch. That could be necessary. Ninban, I don't know if he found the big key for desert. I know Zaen did. Okay, he did. It just wasn't marked, but he finds the big key to Tower of Hera in the big chest. That could come into play later.
Definitely a good idea in this seed to do desert before mountain with that big key there. You just need a hammer to access it.
Made a smart move, smart call here. Let's see what Zaen finds here in the dungeon. He finds a map to Tower of Hera, so we can find out if that's a crystal or a pendant. Soon enough. As Ninban heading outside to go pick up his Titans.
Ninban winning the Golden Gloves as Zaen will find out what things are in Zelda's chest today.
Ninban now finishing up. He's gonna head back over to desert. What are you doing? You don't have power. You don't have Moon Pearl. He must be doing the Super Bunny trick for the Myers Shack. Bit of a sequence break here and a very tricky one. You don't see this trick done very often. Oh no, wait, he's using his mirror. Okay, we find a heart container in Zelda's treasure chest. Ninban is going to do a trick called the Super Bunny trick. Well, he's going to try to, but this Terra...
Murder-dactyl.
The Murder-dactyl not playing nice with him at all. Oh, and he takes a death!
Rip.
But I was going to explain, the trick that Ninban was going to try to do is that you can use the mirror when exiting the Myers Shack, and it puts you in a situation where you're still in bunny form, but you can act pretty much like regular Link, and it allows you to check the chest inside the Myers Shack, hence why it's called the Super Bunny. It's also why we call one of the caves in Dark Death Mountain, the Super Bunny Cave, because if you fall down a hole as a bunny, it suddenly turns you back into regular Link while you still look like a bunny. This Murder-dactyl is, again, not playing nice with Ninban here.
But one way to get rid of him is just do a quick double warp. He'll respawn where he's supposed to start, and he is no longer a threat.
Yep, Zaen checking the sewers here in the sewers and escape, finds a small key to Ice Palace. As Ninban now heading over to the checkerboard cave.
Which is in logic.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though he doesn't have the Moon Pearl, getting to this is in sequence, so you're going to be doing that. Zaen now heading over to desert, going to see that Titan's mitts. Ninban finds a small key. Oh, hey! Good call! Ninban finding the small key to desert. He can now check the right side.
Wow. Plando builders, take note as he's heading to Agana, also routing this in very nicely. Usually you see Agana because it's Sphere Zero, you're like, do I go out of my way and check it early, do I hold off? And the Siwa is just playing nice to route Agana in probably the best way possible.
Indeed, let's see if that gives us anything. Oh, another B-Torp. He's going to go ahead and save and quit. He's going to come back to desert later, it seems.
And I would, if I were these runners, hang on to those bees because Mothula and bee strategy, always just beautiful to see.
Though, to be fair, I've seen a person use 3 bees on Mothula and still ended up dying to him, so don't think it's a perfect strategy. So Ninban now going to head back into desert. He's going to check those 2 chests there on the right side. Make sure he gets all the items he can. Again, he cannot get to land molars because you need either the lamp or fire rod to light the torches inside. But at least if he gets these items, this could help. As Zaen now picking up his golden gloves.
Which, without Moon Pearl, we are just one step away from Dark World access. Looks like Zaen is going not to checkerboard.
He's going to regret that decision. He doesn't know that the key is there.
Well, he might not regret. These could be 2 judge chests.
We'll see here in a minute. Zaen and Ninban opening him up. He finds, oh, someone call Phantom Ryu, because that's got to be Kane.
By God, we found 1/3 of the wrestling trio.
Yeah, and we found triple bombs inside. So, yeah, Zaen is indeed going to regret not getting that key from the checkerboard cave because the Cane of Samaria awaits inside. And I agree with I Cheat Golf. Andy Bree is one of my personal favorite commentators. I've had the pleasure of working with him many times, and that is the reason I will keep that joke going. Now Zaen gonna check out the actually it looks like Zaen is gonna, oh, we didn't even see it was ether required for Meyer, and now Zaen is gonna do the super bunny trick, it looks like. Well, no, he's just gonna get rid of that murder dactyl real quick.
After the trouble they both had with that bird, and ether being the required entrance to Meyer, I want him to toss the bird.
Yeah, and actually, question from chat, and I was actually curious about this as well. Who's the third member of the trio? Because I know the Cane of Brian is one. What's the third item?
John Cena with the cape, because you can't see him.
I never heard that.
And it's perfect because they all the items on the bottom of your menu line up all 3 in a row.
Wow, I've never heard that before. I'm gonna remember that.
And I believe Zaen just did the checkerboard check and little tug of frustration afterwards.
Don't blame him, honestly, but oh man.
So once again, the runners are back in each other's previous positions.
You said yourself, they diverge and then they cross paths. Here we go again. Now Zaen gonna head over to the right side. He's gonna pick up his Cane of Samaria here very soon. So the question is, which one's going to make the play of the Death Mountain first? I think that's when the big moment's going to happen here. I'm calling it. Paradox Cave is going to be Hype Cave.
I think one's going to go Mountain, one's going to go Zora. We need divergence once again.
All right, Ninban about to pick up his art container here from Zelda's chest. Mirrors immediately back out. And he's not even going to check the back chest in there, which I believe was just the map to Ice Palaces of what I saw, so not useful there. And he's going to flute right on off, and he's heading to Death Mountain.
And he's going to brave the dark rooms to rescue Gary.
Or maybe not. He opted not to pick up the old man. He's going to just go right on through.
Second guess, like, nah, this is totally not worth it. But is Zaen doing that check?
I think Zaen is indeed going. I think he went the long way into Death Mountain. He's going all the way through. So we will see what the old man's hiding is. Ninban, unfortunately, getting dead rocked over there. What happened to the old man?
Gary, where'd you go?
He's going to go back in and try that again. Is Ninban handing up the Spectacle Rock? What do we find up here? We get just a piece of heart, but let's see what's inside Spectacle Rock Cave.
Piece of heart. Is this even randomized?
Heart container inside.
Okay, slightly randomized.
And he is opting not to pick that up. Instead, he is going to go ahead. Actually, he's going to pick up the piece of heart because he's going to mirror over to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, we don't need that hammer to get up here like I was saying before. Totally forgot they actually have the mirror. Could do this legit. And with book, you can also check ether tablets, so we'll get a little bit more information, hopefully.
And that's exactly what Ninban's going to do. Oh, small key to pod from the old man. So that's what Gary was holding on to. Let's see what the ether tablet holds. Just couch cash.
So that's the third pod key we've seen, halfway to no mode for pod.
Indeed, Ninban now starting his play on Tower of Hera. Won't be able to check much. Actually, no, he'll be able to check quite a bit, but he won't be able to finish it because he needs a sword or at least a hammer to take on Moldorm. Finds a piece of heart downstairs. Let's see what that central chest has before he heads on up with the big key and finds just a big 20. So we're about 25 minutes in. We still don't have a sword that is accessible right now. We know where one is, but it is Aghanim blocked. So
Aghanim blocked, and by the way, boot locked too.
That's true. Yeah, it is in the Lumberjack Cave, which does require the boots and an Aghanim defeat. So we'll have to wait on that as Ninban now working his way through the upper areas of Tower of Hera. And unfortunately, he made a mistake defeating those beetles, so he's going to have to go back up as Zaen now learns what's on the ether tablet.
Crystal numero uno is the item of Tower of Hera.
Ah, so we now know Tower of Hera is indeed a crystal. Some useful information there for Zaen. Ninban does not know that, I don't believe.
But they had that little divergence with Gary, and now looky here, we're synced up again.
Well, we're getting close to synced up. We're definitely on a similar route now. Ninban, what are you doing? Zaen opting not to go up. Oh, he didn't get the tower, the big key from the big chest, so he is not going to go on. He's going to go ahead and move straight to East Death Mountain. This could either be a really good or really bad play, depending on what we find here in the tower.
But with the inability to face down Trolldorm, I actually am very much liking Zane's route here.
Yeah, all things considered. He is going to use the mirror trick, which will despawn that block there, and he can go straight into the Paradox Cave, which I call the new Hype Cave. Oh, and Ninban taking the wrong hole, falling all the way down again. Find a piece of heart and a small key to Tower of Hera. Hey, there's the basement key to Hera.
Coffee break.
Well, bear in mind, they don't have a fire source, so it's not useful just yet, but let's see what we find on the upstairs area. This is where the money is.
Upstairs, well, if you're looking at it from the outside perspective, it's actually downstairs. That's why they call this Paradox Cave.
Moon Pearl! Compass to desert. Blue tunic. Hey, we'll take that. We find a map to pod and a big 20. So Zaen with the call. Paradox Cave, while not exactly uber hype, did have something of worth up there. And Ninban finding the map to Cannon's Tower. So Tower of Hera being a bust.
Ninban going to the hook shot. Yep, he's going to be right on Zane's heels.
Yeah, but he wasted a lot of time in Tower of Hera. We find 10 arrows up there on the floating island, so that's not getting picked up here today. But now he's going to take the walk of shame here in the Spiral Cave. Get your resident sleepers in chat, folks.
Got the long walk around Spiral Cave. Yeah, you don't want to see this.
Oh, Ninban immediately. He's
going dark side.
Oh, no. Okay, clever plan. He's going to use the mirror to set up Paradox Cave and then immediately go back in for Super Bunny Cave. I like this strategy as we find 10 arrows here in the Spiral Cave.
I'll save a couple seconds, and with how close this race has been, those seconds could be pivotal.
Every second counts in a race like this. You never know. Zaen now going to be heading into Dark Death Mountain now that he's got the Moon Pearl. He's going to head into the Super Bunny Cave. Ninban now getting his Moon Pearl as well as Zaen heads into the Super Bunny Cave.
Still can't face Trolldorm, though.
Yep, still no weapon, still no fire source. We're pretty limited on what we could do so far, but let's see what we find.
But the golden gloves open up Dark Village. That could possibly be the next item up for bids.
Yeah, never know. Big 20 and another heart container for Zaen.
But also with the mirror, you could do Catfish Zora combo and maybe save some time that way.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Be more useful if we had the flippers. And Zaen gonna open up Hookshot Cave, but he's first gonna check to see what Turtle Rock is required. And also Ether. So Ether opening up both dungeons here.
So that quack totally not necessary outside of killing Dead Rocks, which is always a good decision.
Indeed. Zaen now heading into the Hookshot Cave, finds a piece of heart to start things off. Gonna get past this jelly there, and then he finds 10 arrows. Next up, silvers! Always fun to find, especially when you get the bow. And bomb posts! Well, useful for Ice Palace, potentially, since we don't have a fire rod, but otherwise useless.
Yep, we get flippers, and ice is in logic. And V28 really liking to put some value in ice. I mean, ice could be so trolly, you could see a fire rod on Cold Stare. Not that I've tried to curse this seed or nothing, just saying, it's possible.
All right, Zaen now, since he's got the Moon Pearl, he's going to head back over and check the Myers Shack. Hoping to find some something of worth in here. Still got some places to check, things to find. We find a big key for Ice Palace. And a big 20. Big key for Ice Palace. Not exactly required if you know what you're doing, but that means that when they do get there, they can at least check the big chest as Ninban finishes up his Hookshot Cave play.
Yep, if you follow the logic, you need it, but if you can bomb jump, that big key totally not necessary.
All right, so Zaen now gonna head back over to the village, back over to Kakariko. Gonna take the portal over there. Is he gonna head up to Skull Woods, or is he gonna head down into the village of outcasts? Looks like he's going
up to Valley
Woods.
Woods.
Right now, we're still looking for quite a few items. Most notably, either the hammer or a sword of some kind. We still don't even have a fighter sword yet, which, again, given half an hour in and all the stuff we found, surprising we haven't found one yet, but maybe we'll find something here in Skull Woods. As Ninban now also heading back over to the Meyer Shack area. Oh, and we have another big key to Eastern. Now that is completable. We have the bow. Plus now we have silver, so that's a big find there as we find a big 20 as well here in Skull Woods.
Out of logic with the dark rooms, but not such a bad dark room combo to do it.
Actually, technically, you don't need to go into the dark rooms for anything for Eastern. So that's actually in logic.
But there's a dark room right above where the big chest is.
Fair point, fair point. I always forget about that room. But nonetheless, they'll probably do it as well. We found another heart container there for Zaen. So not super worth here in Skull Woods, but not too bad. We still got one more chest to check over here. Now it looks like Ninban's going to also follow suit, heading into the Dark World through Kakariko. Probably going to be following the same path. Now, good news is they have the Cane of Samaria, so they don't have to go through all the trouble with the statue. They can just push that block there. and go right in, skipping past that wall master, thankfully, and finds just another big 20. So not much worth in Skull Woods.
Yeah, Cane of Cheating can be used for any of those situations where you have to use the statue to hold down a switch, except for the one in Swamp, because once you go off screen, that block despawns on you.
All right, so Ninban now starting his run Skull Woods. Zaen is going to head over to the Bumper Cave to see if the cape may be required. Let's see what we find up here. I haven't seen much use out of this place lately, and nope, not going to be anything. It's just a compass. These runners are not going to pick that up, so the Bumper Cave, once again, dead.
Unless they find it in a chest, of course, and just pick it up along the way.
And I just realized something very important.
But that could be the Aghanim unlock.
Also, I just realized something else. We have Mirror, we have Book, and according to our tracker, Skull Woods is one of the 5-6 crystals. You know what that means, right?
Pedestal check?
Maybe. We find a small key, a GT. Not exactly required if we find the Ganisaur Big T early, but we shall see. That could still be useful later on. And next up for him is going to likely be the Bombable Hut.
And probably after that, going to check the first 4 of Thieves' Town.
Either that or the chess game. Either one of those is still in play here. What we find downstairs, a compass to Misery Mire. Oh yeah, we can confirm. Yep, Skull Woods and Swamp are your 5-6 crystals. We also see Pod is blue green pendant, as we know. Ice Palace blue pendant. Ooh.
That is not something you want to see after the seed has already thrown the big key in your face.
No, certainly not. You were hoping to just get that one out of the way, but now you got to check. You got a single arrow and a big key to Misery Mire here in the chess game.
That's a good find. So I'm going to point out I was on commentary for a seed last week. After 52 minutes, the first sword was finally found in the Pod Big chest. Is it going to happen again?
It's looking that way. We've got a big 20 here for Zaen in the first chest and Thieves. 3 more chests to check.
Ninban's going to go north of the cemetery, as you were just about to point out.
Yep, heading over to the Graveyard Cave, finding another big 20 for Zaen. Now, unfortunately, we can't check the King's Tomb because we don't have the boots yet, but we can at least check this cave out and see if it has anything of worth.
Yeah, a lot of good things in here in the past.
Oh yeah, I've seen plenty of races get determined by this cave alone, and just a 5-bomb upgrade, not this time. Let's see what else Zaen finds. He finds another heart container.
And the big key chest has
just a 10-bomb upgrade. So Thieves' Town, a bit of a bust. Wow, we are still looking for items here, folks.
No hammer, so we can't check the pegs. Looks like Zaen is going to go down and visit our good friend Jeremiah.
Indeed. Seems like the smart play. Maybe gonna make a quick drop off there.
Do this digging game, Stumpy, Cave 45. Work your way over to the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
I call it the Prince Cave personally.
Prince Cave, cave of questionable value. We don't hype it much anymore.
No. Though given the lack of items we have, there might be some hype in there. I get the feeling there might be something there. We'll see. Let's see what our Smiths have for us today. What kind of devious stuff are they making this time? Just a compass to Swamp Palace. And he's going to turn right around and pick up the purple chest here.
So Zane's going to take a little bit of a lunch break.
Oh, and he's going to immediately flute over. He's not going to do the southern route, looks like.
Or he might come back, because the problem, of course, when you're toting that lunchbox is the guy at the digging game doesn't like you having a chest behind you. Doesn't let you play.
That's true. That's very true. But still, this is a bit of an interesting routing decision. We'll see how that plays out for him. Is Ninban now going to make his play into Thieves Town and be very disappointed with what he finds inside?
I also don't like this route, because if you came through the Dark World here, you could also route in a Bombos tablet check.
We'll see what that plays out. Finds a small key. Oh, there's another one of our pod keys, so that's not totally a bad call there.
So if we get a hammer, and you know how to hammer jump, 4 keys is enough to do the job. You hammer jump to avoid that door, and also by having the bow, you can enter right side and avoid the front door.
Indeed, Zaen now heading back to Kakariko, going to take his portal back, so at least he set that up appropriately for him. Now he's going to head down and pay a visit to good old Alec Baldwin to see what he can dig up.
Alec Baldwin?
That's literally if you pull up like Cross Products Tracker with the map tracker, that's actually what it's called, Alec Baldwin at the digging game.
Learn something new every rando.
Today I learned. But I know some of our chats have learned some things as well, so we're learning a lot this seed. All right, so how many digs and what will we find? Looks like Ninban's going to be doing the same thing here shortly. Oh, this will be a long dig here. Can he get it in time? Oh,
dig 30! That was dig number 30, maximum possible, and you can stop right there because it's hammer time.
Thank you, sir. Let's hope Ninban can pull that off as well. But yeah, maximum 30 digs to get the hammer. My God, they make you work for that one, but at least it's worth it.
Yeah, not like a $1.
Oh God, that would be the worst. 30
But
digs
now
for a
also
single...
you can finish this route from Hype Cave, go up towards Pod Cat, and then end it with a Pyramid Catfish Zora, provided again we find those flippers.
Indeed, Zaen finding 5-arrow upgrade over there at Old Stump, and now he's going to check the Mirror Cave, as I like to call it. And inside we find, ooh, big key. Which one is it? Big key for Pod.
So if Zaen can hammer jump, Pod is a full clear.
And that's provided he doesn't find any more small keys along the way. We've still got a few places to check before we get to that. And that's exactly where, but then for now, it's time to head over to the Prince Cave. Oh, and Ninban, since he found that hammer, he went back, picked up Jeremiah, and he's checking out the Pet Cave. Nice call there for Ninban, but only finds 5 rupees for it. All right, Prince Cave, are you going to be hyped this time, or are you going to be trash? Let's see, we find out. Starts it up. We fire up the small key to Ganon's Tower. Again, still not sure if that's going to be useful yet. And we find a map to Misery Mire, another small key to Turtle Rock, a small key to Ganon's Tower, and a compass for Ganon's Tower. So, meh cave.
I'd give it a 2 out of 10. I would not hype that cave. But 1 out of 4 Turtle Rock keys, maybe has something. We still don't know if there's a pendant or crystal up on the rock. Also, we haven't found the ether yet to access it even.
That's very true. Zaen now indeed going to head over to the east side of the Dark World. Will he go straight to Turtle Rock, or is he going to go up? Looks like he's going up to the pyramid.
So the runners are following the same route, just Zane's a little further on in the route, as he gets a confirmation Mire is also a crystal, number 3.
Yep, still have not found the location of the red pendant yet. That is, once we find that, we will know the rest offhand. And off the pyramid, we find powder!
So Zane's gonna probably go back to Dark World Village at this point and do the hammer pegs and route in the bat.
At some point, I would not be surprised if we see him make that play. But nonetheless, he's going to head up to the catfish and probably route in Zora as well, depending on how things turn out for him. Again, we're still missing a lot of items. We still have both rods out in play. The flippers are still missing. The lamp. We're missing the fighter sword. We're missing all of our other 3 swords that we have unaccounted for. Plus, we're still missing that ether medallion. So we have a lot of items to look for, and we are quickly running out of locations. They're going to have to start dungeon diving before too long.
Yeah, the thing is, with Keysanity, you usually want to hold off that dungeon dive so you don't have to double, triple, quadruple dip a dungeon. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And we'll see what the catfish has today.
Yeah, the overworld is not paying off well for them here. Let's see what a catfish gives us today. And he has... There's our ether!
So now you could possibly access Ether, Meyer, or T-Rock.
Honestly, between the two, I'd say Misery Meyer is more worth it.
And Bombos Tablet, just an arrow upgrade, and another shield. We've seen our second over on Zora Ledge, the first being in the library.
Yeah, so probably won't be seeing our runners pick up either one of those. We'll be lucky if we even see a Fisher Price shield to seed, much less Mirror Shield. Let's see what Zora has for us today for 500 rupees. Is it going to be a life lesson, love lesson, or will we actually have worth? I'm calling worth. There's got to be something here. With how little we found.
300 bucks, come on.
It is. Oh, love lesson. Just a piece of heart.
Womp womp.
I got to do it right, man.
Recovering from allergies, I can't get my voice to do that right now.
That's what I'm here for, my friend. I got your back.
Appreciate it. Yeah, if you're just joining us 47 minutes in, the big hang-up right now is the first sword that we have found. Unfortunately, it's in a lumberjack tree.
Yeah, which means you need at least fighter sword and cape, if not master sword, to even get to it. All right, Zaen heading back over to the Village of Outcasts. Looks like he's going to make that play that you suggested, doing Bat Cave and Peg Cave here.
Yep, and if you're wondering specifically why it's the sword you need the sword to actually access 2 bosses. One being Aga 1, the other being Mothula, because otherwise it's Clayton's for your run. Because they're literally blocked by curtains.
I like the way you did that, my friend. All right, time to do the slow Peg Cave for Zaen now. We know it's not going to have anything, but if you got it, you got to check it. Ninban making his play here on the pyramid. Got to find his powder here pretty soon. And our restreamer Sidak sharing a little story. Apparently, he had a race where he didn't find a sword until an hour and 12 minutes, and he was the first to find it of the 4 runners. Oh, and chat points makes a very good point. We have the ether medallion, sure, but you need a sword to even use it.
Oh!
So those 2 dungeons are still out of play.
How many items is that in pod 14? I mean, any of them could be the big thing.
Indeed. Zaen now can check out the magic bat, and what has he got for us today? It's a small key to swamp.
Oh, the swamp key has been found. But without flippers, it is also completely useless.
My God, we're getting all this great stuff, and we can't use any of it. Oh, and Ninban now, he's going to drop off one of his bees. He's going to drop off his bees. He's going to actually stock up on potions. They were both golden bees, too. He could have sold those over to the bottle vendor at the very least.
Could have used them on Moth if we could access them because we don't have a sword. And we're approaching my time of 52 minutes.
Indeed. Zaen now going to head over to Pod. He's going to take his 4 keys and Big Key, and he's going to put those to use. But first, he's going to have to pay a visit to everyone's favorite little excursionist, Kiki the monkey. 110 rupees down the drain.
And then after this, there's only one other thing he'll need the rupees for, and that is the big bomb, which costs 100 flat.
All right, Ninban now picking up his ether medallion. He knows he needs that. He's like, okay, thank God, this was actually worth the trip.
And chat's wondering, can sword be the go mode item?
Oh, good God. You know what? I'm going to share a story with you on another race I've commented before, where the two runners went all the way through Ganon's Tower. This was open mode, mind you, with only Fighter Sword, and Master Sword was indeed their go mode item, and they didn't find it until after they beat Aga 2.
And Dark Shadows, I commented that seed. That's the one with the 52-minute sword I was referring to earlier. Oh, and by the way, the other two swords were also in GT.
Oof. Good Lord. All right, Ninban now picking up his love lesson from Zora as Zaen is making his way through Pod. Hasn't found much yet, but they could have that bow, so he can thankfully check the right side here of Pod, which is something that's always difficult to do if you don't have it.
Yep, arrows and hammers, you can totally avoid that front door, which with only 4 keys, you gotta go that route. But now we were talking about Aghanim's Tower earlier. We haven't even seen a Castle Tower key yet, so there's only one chest available, provided we even find Master Sword or Cape.
Good Lord. I've seen trolley seeds, but this is beyond trolley. This is just cruel.
Synac, we blame you for rolling this seed.
Yeah, this one's on you, dude. All right, we've got a compass for Tower of Hera here for Zaen. Not what he was hoping for. Let's see what we have over here in this chest. We have just a big 20 as Ninban now making his way over to Pod. This seat's been pretty linear, so both of the runners pretty much on similar paths right now.
Yeah, they've pretty much checked everything possible. Pod is sort of the last resort right now. Don't even have boots to backwards bonk the one-way path, so Zane's gonna have to go around the long way.
Indeed, he's gonna bomb this area down here to get to the chest. Oh, he's gonna go around first. Come back to that later, it looks like.
Oh, he's gonna collect this one and probably just run the full circuit because he didn't flip the crystal switch. There's a big key to GT!
Oh, the GT big key has been located, ladies and gentlemen. That means that all those small keys we found, pretty much useless. But that will save him some time later on. And this is why bombing that was a bad idea, because he's got to bomb it again. And I think part of that was killing time, but part of that grab was him being frustrated at wasting a bomb. As Ninban actually going to go back into Eastern, since he has the means to full clear, he's going to go ahead and do so. All right, we find a small key. Oh, there's another small key.
The vanilla pod key, the trolliest of all possibilities for keys, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. The trolliest thing a Keysanity can do is put a key in his vanilla dungeon. Find a
and
big
he's gonna bomb yump it because he just opened the front door, so he's gonna need to bomb yump or hammer yump. Yeah,
hammer yump. But nonetheless, understandable there. He did get that extra key though, so he's good to go. And Ninban gonna challenge the dark rooms here in Eastern and make his way over to the Armos Knights and see what he has to drop. Bear in mind, folks, this is a sequence break since he does not have the lamp.
I'd be hesitant to even do this room dark without a fire rod. I mean, at least the lamp, the lanterns you can light up in that room are in the corners, makes it pretty easy, but Ninban gets through it just fine. Zaen picking up a big 50.
Yep, still looking for something big here. Where's our big play? Piece of heart for Zaen. Oh, this is getting intense. Where's that big moment gonna happen? Where's the hype moment gonna be?
Go downstairs, check there as Ninban is off towards the Armos.
And there's the single arrow for Zaen on the right side. And Ninban about to finish his way over here on Eastern. And just some more rupees. Looks like it.
That looks like 300.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 300. Ninban now going to take on the Armos Knights with these silver arrows. Complete joke. I very rarely see runners have trouble with this. There is a red big 20, and here's the first crystal of the race, ladies and gentlemen.
55 minutes, and we have exceeded my previous record of no sword. We're 55 minutes swordless. And no, this is just regular Keysanity. It's not swordless. We know where one is. We just can't get to it because it's blocked by Aga.
All right, Zaen had a little bit of trouble there with the Hammer Yump. He's going to make another attempt at. Thankfully, he gets a free bomb there. Hammer Yump is one of those trickier bomb jumps to do, but it's one of those that if you're going to run this, especially for a thing like Keysanity, you have to pretty much master it if you want to survive this tournament. Also, we didn't comment on this, but we also found Bloomerang downstairs in the first chest and pod.
Not essential, but a handy utility item to have. Zaen pulls it off, and Wartos!
Flippers!
And now Ice Palace becomes the troll.
Oh, yeah. And bear in mind, folks, those flippers were a sequence break. Another big 20 there for Zaen. Because technically, by the logic, the only way you're supposed to be able to get to that particular chest is to go through the dark maze, which obviously
means you
we
need
don't
a light
have
source.
Where's the lamp hiding?
Where could the lamp even be?
I can't think of any locations they haven't checked that it could be hiding. It's trolling them hard.
All right, those of you who are saying Trolldorm, oh, we have the hammer. Yeah, you could actually defeat Trolldorm now.
That's just cruel.
Double dip of Tower of Hera?
Not the worst thing you can do. Zaen having a little bit of trouble getting through the dark maze here, unfortunately.
I would have personally just warped the heck out of there by now.
This ain't worth it. But he's getting through.
Ninban's about to pick up his vanilla small key. Be interesting to see, is he gonna go the whole hammer yump route, or is he going to leave the front door locked?
And looks like Zaen has finally given up.
And it looks like Ninban is going to say to heck with that hammer yump. I'm just going to leave the front door locked.
All right, so what's Zaen gonna do here? Is he going on to
Going to Helmasaur, that's all that's left. And no, more dark rooms. Yay.
Gotta love those silver arrows. Just so easy to take out enemies with that thing.
Yeah, they're more powerful than a golden sword. We don't need that sword anyway, right?
How funny is it that the silver arrows are better than the golden sword? Go wrap your head around that for a little bit. Alright, so Zaen now working his way through these dark rooms up to Helmasaur. Is Ninban now finding all the items that Zaen found. If he can pull off that hammer up, he'll be getting his flippers here shortly.
Ninban's gonna head downstairs, get the validation arrow and his 300, and he'll be off towards the big chest getting his flippy floppies.
So you can have a little trouble here in the dark rooms. Those turtles giving him a little trouble.
So it appears right now that Ninban with the invisible sprite, not really much of the disadvantage because Zaen effectively is pretty much invisible sprite as well.
With all these dark rooms, absolutely. All right, now it's Ninban's turn for the hammer yump.
As we are an hour in, of course, I'm JTN 2000 here with the Shades. We're in round 3 of the Link to the Past Keysanity tournament. Both these runners 2-0 so far here in the 5 Swiss rounds. They both won their first 2 weeks. And also over helping us out, we have another duo that you're not hearing right now. Weighty Words over on the tracker helping, keeping us informed. And Synac over on the restream bringing you all this footage.
Absolutely. Give your shout outs to that. Make sure you guys, since we're not seeing much new here right now, make sure you give both of our follows, both of our runners, Zaen and Ninban, a follow, as well as all of us here. Show us some love for all the hard work we're doing here, folks. Now, Ninban gonna opt not to go to Helmassar. He's gonna wait till he has a lamp. Don't entirely blame him, but Zaen has made it to the Helmassar King. 17 whacks with the hammer and 1 shot with the silver arrows, and the beast goes down.
I prefer bombs over hammer myself, actually, on this one.
Well, true, but hey, you know what? The hammer does its job. That's what it's meant for, so we'll see how this plays out. Is Ninban going to make his play over? He's heading up to Zora again.
Silver arrow making it real easy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ninban gonna check the Waterfall of Wishing. Let's see what Helmassar drops. We know it's gonna be the green pendant.
Check this yet. We got a small key to ice.
Shovel!
Oh no! Shovel! My dream's dead again in an hour or 2?
No Master Shovel for you, sorry. All right, Ninban now gonna head up to the hobo.
Lake Island having a big 300.
All right, hobo, what do you got for us, my friend? Just a big 20, unfortunately, there. As Zaen now going to make his way through Eastern Palace. He's going to take on the Armos Knights. We know they're not going to find much there, but once he gets done, he can also turn right around and check Sir Hasala to see what he's hiding, since he now has the green pendant.
Now, one thing annoying about actually pulling the shovel then, Zane's already checked that whole overworld area, so routing in that shovel is not easy. But with the few locations available, the dig spot could be the key to unlocking everything.
I see what you did there. Ninban now going to check the magic back. He's going to get his small key to Swamp. Not a bad call to make here. That's going to pay off for him. Then what comes next for Ninban?
Well, with the flippers and Swamp Palace small key, Swamp becomes a bit enticing, as well as Ice.
I'd say Ice might be better off because he has the big key, so you can check all the chests there. Swamp, though, wouldn't be a bad call to make if he decides to go that route instead. And it looks like he's heading to Swamp.
Zane's gonna finish Eastern, get his crystal, and knowing how these runners have operated so far, I'm almost willing to wager Zane's gonna go Eastern after this.
Oh, and chat points out something I forgot something again. No sword, so you can't use Bombos and Ice Palace. I keep forgetting that. Oh, and a death by Zaen in Eastern.
So forget what I just said about Ice because it's sword locked.
This sword! Can we please give these guys a sword, for crying out loud?
So what was it somebody was saying in chat earlier about the longest they had without a sword? An hour what? We're getting close.
112, if I recall correctly, was the longest we've seen. If we don't find a sword in the next 10 minutes, oh good God, we have a record. Right off the bat, we find the big key to Thieves Town.
Well, that dungeon is now full clearable because Blind doesn't care about swords. You could use the Canis on Mario to get him for all we care.
Indeed, but I think we'll save that until we can get some better weapons here. 5-bomb upgrade here for the second chest. Oh. And yeah, chat pointing out there's still Trolldorm in play. Thanks now to finding the hammer now. He could have something. That would be extra cruel considering how much you had to go through to get the hammer.
And those that are hoping for Castle Tower, we are keyless, so we need to find 2 swords or a cape to even access the first item there. I think at this point, we're still so linear, Swamp is the inevitable conclusion. Now, if you're Ninban, do you just go west side, or do you say to heck with it and just rush for Argus?
You have to go left side. You need to find items. We need to find that sword.
What you also need to not do is drown the key.
That's very true. Zaen now finally making over to the Armos Knights. He's going to be picking up his money and his crystal.
Fire Rod!
Fire Rod! Uh-oh. You know what that means? Skull Woods is now in play.
Nope, no sword. It's Clayton runners.
Oh, come on! Dang it!
But that gets you into ice.
Yeah, now Ice Palace is in play. This seed. Normally I say this for super fast seed, but for this, I gotta say, what is going on with this seed?
And what makes it even worse, Ice Palace is a pendant dungeon.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna point out, we've checked both tablets and they were junk. We have not checked the pedestal.
Oh.
Oh, Math Girl over in chat pointing out the first back chest of skull is available even without that sword. How about if the sword was there?
Oh, now you're just being mean. All right, Zaen now gonna check the dig spot since he got that shovel out of pod.
Can we actually dig this seed? No.
No! Debate it again!
Dig 20! And the hunt continues.
Now, there is still one possibility that sword cannot be on pedestal or be pedestal required to even get a sword, is that Turtle Rock being a pendant. We find a small key of Turtle Rock here, because if the red pendants in Turtle Rock, they need a sword.
If it's in Thieves Town, we could have a vanilla pedestal of sorts.
Oh my! Oh my God!
It's not a master sword of the pedestal. It's the first sword of the pedestal.
Oh, and the chat's loving that idea. They're hyped for that. And our restreamer Synac, he is not sorry for this scene at all. No regrets.
I'll even put my bless RNG in chat.
I didn't even touch this seed, and I've unofficially blessed it with a trolley seed. My God. But normally for me it'd be early. A lot of good items early. We didn't get that here, so this is not one of.
Well, we got good items early. I mean, silvers were early. The bow was pretty easy to find.
I'm talking
wasn't
Sphere
too
Zero. I'm talking Sphere Zero. Let's be fair. Sphere Zero was pretty weak.
And if you're wondering who to blame for the seed, well, that would be our restreamer.
That would be Synac. All right, Ninban gonna check the back end of Swamp here. What do we find up here? We find a small key to Ice Palace and a big 20. We're at an hour and 10 minutes in, folks. How much longer will this seed troll them? And Zaen, is Zaen gonna attempt to go to? I think he was gonna go ice, but he realized, wait, I need a sword.
Oh, yep, the rage, lack of, what do you even call that? You can't call it a rage slash because he has no sword.
We find another small key to Skull Woods here on Ninban's end as he's heading his way up to Argus now. And because we don't have a sword of any kind, ladies and gentlemen, prepare for Menu Simulator 2018.
I had to do a menu boss on a seed the other week. It is not fun. But also, Ninban hasn't checked the one item. Oh, that's the big key chest. Yeah, we haven't found the Swamp big key yet. Yeah, Swamp double dip?
Might be. Answer a question in chat. Yes, we have seen Graveyard Ledge. Nothing.
It was an upgrade. Graveyard Ledge was a bomb upgrade. Zora Ledge was a capacity upgrade too.
No, Zora Ledge was a shield.
Yeah, Fisher Price shield. The other one being in library. Third shield location unknown.
And then trying to capture 2 puffs at once to minimize the menuing there. Not a bad call.
Now, both our runners have flippers and are in Swamp. They're both violating the logic because the flippers were in the big chest of pod, which is lamp locked. They haven't found the lamp yet.
Which means that all of this is a sequence break right now. Not what they want. Ninban obviously not very good with the silvers, but does get the shot out. Down goes Argus. What does he drop? 50 rupees. And our second crystal of the race. At an hour and 12 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, we may be looking at a record here.
And the Pyramid Fairy is sword locked due to the fact that it is a curtain blocking the other crystal. So those locations are off the table. And ladies and gentlemen, 73 minutes, we now have a record for longest time until first sword.
I'm going to verify that, actually. I want to verify that.
I'll keep an eye on the action here while you go and see.
Oh, I've still got the screen up. I can.
Okay.
Thank God for 2 monitors.
Get a third. Trust me, you'll never go back.
Zaen now going to run his run in Swamp. He's not going to find much there, but Ninban going to take that cue. He's heading back into Thieves Town.
I'm hoping for a pendant. I'm hoping for a pendant.
You kind of have to hope for that.
And those of you who were wondering about drowning the key earlier, you have to throw this switch before you get the key over in that pot to its immediate left. Otherwise, you're leaving the dungeon, you're leaving this screen, and you're resetting the water to start this dungeon all over again. And we will see if Ninban can handle the harmful hellway going up in Thieves Town.
Ooh. Answer a question in chat. The Tower of Hera big key was in the big chest in Desert Palace. That's why Ninban and Zaen did not grab that. He skipped that chest. I think he forgot he had it, but oh.
But I don't think Trolldorm had anything major on him.
Well, we haven't beaten Trolldorm himself. We've just gotten all the other chests.
Right. The chests up there weren't anything, but Trolldorm himself is still a...
And we still have the basement up there, too, that hasn't been checked. And we got some
And now
Mountain
they have a
Dew there.
fire source.
Yeah, we can check it now.
So we're up to 3 bottles.
But let's also bear in mind, as chat points out, that fire rod, getting to that fire rod, because it required the flippers, which was in a was past a dark room.
It's not the sequence break.
It's still a sequence break.
These runs are both like, logic? We don't need no stick to logic. We're just going to do what we want. And now they're suffering for it. And by God, it's the other gate.
Yes, 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 it's the Kate O'Brien. Teen Hell No complete.
So, Spike Cave is now in the logic?
Oh, good God.
This is when you start thinking about those one-off locations.
Yep, we found the map to Turtle Rock. Now we can confirm if it's the pendant dungeon, unless the pendant's here in Thieves Town. And I've just gotten confirmation in our Discord server that apparently the longest that an open mode race went without a sword was 1 hour and 37 minutes. So we haven't broken any records yet. Also, I like the comment there by unknown availability. Logic? What logic? There's no logic here.
And Blind's pun of the day is... Gardeners like to spring into action, as we're going to see some hammer strats.
This is going to be very tricky. I mean, they have blue mail, so it won't be to the worst, but hammer blind is probably one of the worst setups you can have, because trying to hit him with that short-range hammer is a pain.
Instead, opting for the yes movement.
Don't blame him at all. This is one of those few times you kind of need something like Kane O'Brien. And it pays off. He defeats Blind. What does he drop?
Small key.
Small key to Misery Mire, and it's a crystal. Which means by process of elimination, the last pendant was indeed in Turtle Rock, which means it can't, that even if there's a sword on the pedestal, there's another sword somewhere else.
So now it's ice? That's the inevitable conclusion? Is that all that's available right now?
I think so. I think that's the only thing you can play. Oh, well, yeah, because you can't go into Mire without a sword, since you need that to open up the medallion.
But Ninban's going towards Mire and doing it.
Actually, no. Desert. He's going to Desert.
Okay.
Desert's completable.
Just gonna get that Landmo out of the way. Okay.
Hey, you never know. Landmolus might have our sword.
That, oh. I can't even fathom.
You can only imagine what's going through our runners' heads right now with all of the stuff they've done, and they still don't even have fighter sword yet.
Who knows? Maybe Ninban's just doing this to give him some time to think to, where could I go next? Let me just get this out of the way. We'll have a moment to think.
And again, all of this stuff we're doing right now is technically out of sequence, since we do not have the lamp.
You know what I think happened? I mentioned that jet seat comment earlier, and look what we got.
You jinxed it. You jinxed it. I blame you.
I'm cursed.
You're more cursed than I am, and that's saying something.
Fire Rod was in the swamp, compass chest over in the south, and flippers were in pod big chest.
All right, Ninban now taking on Landmolus. He's got these silvers, so these guys are not that difficult to deal with.
And I think Zane's going to do the exact same thing.
All right, Landmolus, what else are you dropping with Hooded Crystal? We have a small key to pod. Well, that's useless now.
Well, there's number 6.
Yeah, well, Ninban can still has to go back to pod, but even then, it's...
Can't check Keep's tune. We have no boots. What was that?
Also, did Zayn ever check Sir Hasala?
Turning in the green pendant from... Oh.
I don't think he... Oh, never mind. They did. He Chat saying he did check. It was just cash. Or he did check. There was nothing there. Had a heart. Okay, throw that out. Now Ninban finally making the play up to Tower of Hera. He's got...
Or is he making the Tower of Hera play? Or is he making the Spike Cave play?
Or both.
Why not both?
Cualquiera de los dos. Question is, which one is he going to do first?
I'd do Spike first. But Ninban's not me.
He's going to do Hera. Actually, I like this play better because if you can go immediately, once you're done with Hera, you can immediately exit right out and go straight to Spike. Whereas if you did Spike first, you'd have to go all the way back up to get the Tower of Hera.
And you gotta walk out, that's true. Most people like to save and quit once they get to the chest. And this is why I'm a filthy casual.
So am I, and I still had that thought in my head. Your casual status means nothing here, JT.
No, not at all.
Though I do kind of question why Ninban didn't check the basement first, but I guess he's going to check that after defeating Moldworm.
Those tile rooms, they're just a big time sink. If you get the progression up here, it's... you save yourself that potential. But if Moldworm is something just like, you know, the magical boomerang on the other hand, you're going to the basement for a coffee break.
Well, in an open mode race, I'd be wholeheartedly with you. This is Keysanity. No chest is unimportant. Nonetheless, Ninban gonna take on Trolldorm. Yes, we know he's called Moldorm, but if you played this game, you know why we call him Trolldorm, especially when you're dealing with hammer strats.
Like when I did this once, I had 8 Trolldorm falls. It was just bad.
You know, if it was a sword strat for Moldorm, especially tempered or higher, I'd have to shame you for that. But for hammer strats, I'm not gonna hold it against you. Oh, and Trolldorm strikes!
Trolldorm falls. 1.
Ding! All right, round 2. Fight!
But Ninban's only checked 3 of the 6 locations. Trolldorm will be number 4, basement will be number 5. What did Ninban skip over?
I don't remember. Probably one of the other chests. Probably the big chest, maybe? Who knows?
Or the piece of heart in the first room.
And
There's the sword!
we have our sword in 1 hour and 23 minutes!
83 a minute sword. It's not a record overall, but it may be the Keysanity record.
Ladies and gentlemen, could somebody please clip that? We need to clip that.
And please don't put the clip request in the clip.
Yeah, try to cut that out. Just cut to where you get the sword. That's why I waited that long to say something. But yeah, we need to clip that. And if you're in the Keysanity tournament Discord, please share that with them. People need to see how trolly this was.
Of course, don't post it until the race is over because spoilers are a thing. But yeah,
you get the idea. Anyway, Ninban now gonna check Spike Cave here and finds another B-Torp.
3 B-Torps and a green goo. Unleash the bees on the moth. Just go to Skull Woods and just get those bees out of there.
Zayn now, he is actually going to check the basement, which Ninban did not do. Will this come back to bite Ninban later? We'll see.
Maybe there's another sword down here.
Nope, just a compass for Ice Palace.
Ninban probably skipped the piece of heart that was in the very first room of Terrafera. That's why he was at 4 of 6, and he also skipped the coffee break.
Well, he didn't miss much, thankfully. He's gonna head straight up to Skull Woods, but oh man. And bear in mind, that was just for Fighter Sword. We still have 2 other swords unaccounted for. There's a good chance we could find all the crystals and may still have to do Aghanim Run if we find the boots just to get a Master Sword to fight Ganon.
Or they'll just find swords in GT. Because you can totally enter GT on a fighter sword.
I know. I've seen it. All right, Ninban now the back end of Skull Woods here. Going to check the first chest here in the back before he heads on to the Moth. Now it's Zaen.
The troll room.
Now Zane's turn to find. There's the cape!
So we got the 3-man tag match. We got the Kane O'Brien, and John Cena's cape. Zayn with the rage. I don't blame him. 86 minutes for a sword. And those who are wanting to see Aga Tower, there are 0 castle tower keys found.
That's the problem, yeah.
Though the cape, the first chest is available, but it's really out of the way.
It's gonna take a miracle for that to become a thing. All right, Ninban now taking on Mothula.
Fire rod strats.
Unfortunately, he's already out of magic. He's gonna have to rely on hammer and sword strats.
Or bees. I don't think he's even thinking about it, though. Bees, you don't need no stinking bees. Hammer work just fine. Small key, too.
What was that about no castle tower keys there, JTN?
There's one.
Just need one more. JTN, I'd like to officially diagnose you with a case of what I like to call foot-in-mouth disease.
But hold off on that. Let's see what's in the pedestal.
Here we go.
Giving us a check.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes our check for the pedestal. What do we got? Let's catch some bees. It's the swag net.
Master net.
Though, let's be fair, folks. No one, if you don't need to use the swag net, you're not going to. The dream is dead. We're not seeing that.
It's dead. Sorry.
But now that we finally have a sword, we can start our play into Misery Mire. Though
I'm still trying to figure out where this lamp was.
No kidding. Though JTN, if you think about it, there's something else we could check now. We have the crystals for Swamp Palace and Skull Woods. Pyramid Theory.
Yep, that is available. So, Meyer, if you know what you're doing, I do not believe it requires any small keys, just the big keys.
That is correct. If you route yourself correctly, you can avoid using any keys at all, which is probably what Ninban's going to do. But we'll see what he finds here in Misery Mire. Given what little we found already so far, we're bound to find something in here. Boots, Master Sword, hell.
Master Sword might be go mode.
Oh, I think it is. Because really, that's the only thing we really need to find. We don't need the ice rod since Turtle Rock is a pendant.
Mushrooms, the fetch quest, boots are not necessary?
Yeah, the Master
I
Sword
feel dirty
is indeed our
saying that.
go mode item. And
There's
there's
the lamp!
the lamp!
How?
Simple. The hammer was at the digging game. You needed that to get to defeat Moldorm to get your fighter sword in order to get the lamp.
The racers were just procrastinating Moldorm too long and doing all the out-of-logic stuff. The sequence break was trolling him worse than the seed was.
This is why I always say sequence breaking, while helpful at times, can often be your detriment because it can throw you further off.
So let's assume the worst and try to do a little bit of prediction here. Assuming there is no Master Sword in Mire, Ninban's gonna go to GT, yeah?
And he's going to hope that there's a sword up there.
Do you just charge the gauntlet hoping for the upper half, or do you start on basement?
That's a very good question. I don't know. Let's see what we find here. Big 20 for Ninban at the vanilla big key chest. Not what he was hoping for there. Oh, and poor Zaen has no clue, but he is going into Thieves Town. At least he has a sword now. Gives him a little bit of extra range to work with, but not by much.
Zaphod Beetle Brock's also asking if they find the second Agate Tower key, do you go up Agate Tower to get that sword? But no, you don't have boots!
This seed,
I
even
swear,
with
this
the logic
seed,
we've had to deal with, was the trolliest thing I've ever seen.
from our perspective, this is a glorious seed. From the runner's perspective, they might need a strong intoxicant of choice afterwards.
I would not blame him. Find a compass to Skull Woods. Well, that's utterly useless at this point.
There's a moth. He's in the back. We know that.
And finds another heart. At least their health is good.
13 hearts, blue mail. That's pretty good. I would love to see a sword in the GT big chest.
Oh.
Something you never ever see in a rando, and it might be there.
That we still have one more sword unaccounted for, though. And speaking of big keys, we got a big key to Skull Woods. Now that's in logic. They may go back for that if it has the sword they're looking for.
Well, also, if you like fetch quests, you could put a fetch quest item in GT and have the sword behind that.
Have to be the mushroom. That's the only thing we haven't confirmed yet.
Yeah, that is true. There's one of the three left. So Zaen right now is heading down into Thieves Town. He's going to go rescue the maiden, get the Daniel Bryan cane, and if you have a sword, it's only fighter's sword. Blind doesn't care what level of sword, so this might be an easier fight for him than Ninban had.
But only by a little bit. It gives you a little extra range, but it's still the shortest range of the swords, to be fair.
But you could also slash him while you get Kane O'Brien going. Deal the damage twice as fast, maybe?
Speaking of magic, here's another thing we haven't found. We haven't found half magic yet, but Ninban now starting on his fight with Vitreous. Thankfully,
Silvers
he does
make this a joke.
I was just about to say that, yeah, with the silver arrows, you're not even trying. It's just nothing. Two shots, down goes the eyeball.
And Vinny wasn't even trying with aiming the lightning this time. And there's the third shield. Latecomers, if you're wondering where the other two are, you got a library and you got a Zora Lich. There you are.
And yet, even though we are on our way to potentially to Ganon's Tower, I still can't call go mode yet. We need Master Sword.
Let's first see if Ninban is going to play GT as his next move. If so, I've got a very important question for chat.
I think I know what you're thinking, and I'm pretty sure I was already thinking the exact same thing.
So if you add a big chest and the above, it's no longer 22, it's 27? Yep, chat's reading minds, because there are 27 locations inside of Ganon's Tower. We might find a sword. Where is it?
Oh, the cruelty is in play because there's one location they cannot get.
Also, 0 if you don't think there are any swords at GT.
JTN? Did you forget there's one location they can't get? What if that Master Sword is
Bomb
on
rocks.
the torch?
Bob's torch. Oh, well, there's also what items are boot locked that we don't know? We don't have the Bon Crocs. We don't have King's Tomb. Is there a third?
Not that I can think of. This seed is not done potentially trolling these runners yet, folks. This race is far from over.
Pyramid Fairy has yet to be checked also. Saw a couple of rage slash from Zane's side. He is not happy right now.
I don't think either of these runners are happy. I dread when we have to interview these guys later.
And Ninban is off to GT. Here we go.
Though, when you think about it, we're an hour and 37 minutes in. If he finds a sword in Ganon's Tower, this won't be that bad of a seed when you think about it, because he could still be sub 2 hours if he's lucky.
It is possible. How? We complained about how bad this is, but GT, it's GT. There's not much else you can say. I'm kind of speechless with this. And we have 98-minute GT. Here we go.
Indeed, and looks like Zaen is gonna indeed check the Pyramid Fairy to see if he's got any swords. All right, let's start digging. First chest, we get a big 20. Second chest, 50 rupees.
Now I'm gonna see what Bob's got. Piece of heart and 300 from the Pyramid Fairy.
Nothing there. Yeah, but bear in mind, and the reason why we're worried about the Master Sword is you cannot fight Ganon with just the Fighter Sword. You have to have, at minimum, Master Sword, and even then,
you're spinning.
Master Sword, you have to do spin strats to even hit him.
So
Ninban's tempered.
Ninban skipped over the tile room. And Zaen is off to see the wizard.
At least check those chests that he can find. He's going to at least see if he can check both chests.
So I guess if he finds the other Castle Tower key in Castle Tower, this is going to be John Cena versus Bray Wyatt.
Small key to Misery Mire. That's useless here. Heart piece.
6 items down. And Zaen aborts after the first chest. He's off to Meyer. Bomb upgrade on Bob's torch, so it's not there. That's 7 items down.
So the search is still on. Where is that sword? We got 10 arrows, 50 rupees, another 10 arrows, and 100 rupees.
I usually guess for 13 when it's a GT big key hunt. We're at 11 down. The counter is one less because we know what Bob's torch is, even though it can't be collected. So nice having the compass for this dungeon. Makes the counting a lot easier.
Another big 20 there in the fire bar room.
This is hard to do with a bloomerang.
It is. You just gotta imagine what's going through these runners' minds here. There he goes. He got it. He got it. But how rare is it in Keysanity for anyone to dig this deep into Ganon's Tower, especially when you already have the big key?
It's unprecedented. The answer,
It's
you just
unprecedented,
don't.
but it's rare.
I've never seen it, put it that way.
I'm gonna bet if we ask, somebody's done it before. We got another. Oh, hey, small key for Ganon's Tower. He heads off to the rando room.
We could have the swords in Ice Palace still. Nobody's even taken a peek in there.
I can do one better. What else haven't we checked?
There's a lot of T-Rock. And Ninban has all 4 T-Rock keys.
Yeah. If we don't find a sword here, it's in Total Rock. I'm calling
Come
it
on,
now.
rando room.
There's half
There it is.
magic. And there's the triple bombs.
We're going Ice Armos, looks like. Unless it's in the big chest.
And no, Skullwood's big chest has not been checked. That's another possibility.
Double dip GT. Oh, God. Well, actually, no. Ninban could full clear GT. Just can't face the big pig.
Yeah. You can defeat Aghanim too with just Fighter Sword, but you can't take on Ganon with it. That's the only difference.
Oh, and he's got to go the long way around because he can't bug. Check the big chest first. Come on. Yep, he just realized he could actually check the big chest. This is totally never ever seen.
This seed, I'm telling you. Oh no, he's using the torch. He's gonna light the torch.
Saying 3 locations are better than 1. Ice Armos in Keysanity. Well, this is a rarity.
Ooh.
Hi, Bob.
Piece of heart there in Bob's chest. Again, thankfully he has the silver, so this room won't be too bad. Takes him out pretty quickly. All right, what do we got up here?
These are chests 18 through 20.
Piece of heart. Piece of heart.
There's the Master Sword!
Master Sword!
21!
21's the magic number, ladies and gentlemen. If you check your watches at this time, you will see that, what time is it? Oh, yes. It's Como time.
104 minutes. What's in that big chest? Well, the world may never know. Now, it's a Master Sword. We are go with spins. Do you check the chests on the way up and hope of finding temper?
I'd say you have to. And to answer question, Phantom Fox, we know for a fact 4 of the only 3 can be here because we know the 4th sword is in the Lumberjack Cave.
Boots
So
and
the best we can
validation.
find along the way is tempered.
I would love to see boots in the what some people call the validation chest. What I like to call the inevitable conclusion chest.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna steal that from you. Because I've been trying to find a new name to call that chest, because it is a significant chest. But I don't like calling it the validation chest, because that's confusing to people.
It's confusing with the arrow that is normally in that chest that's often called the validation arrow.
Which is another name that I think we need to get rid of, because, again, validation. You make it sound like you have to find that in order for the run to be considered legit. It's not. It's just a joke.
It's just there's one of them in the game. It's got to be somewhere, and to confirm that everything is in the game, that's where the validation bit came from originally, but it is a bit of a misnomer.
Ooh, and I like what Dark Shadow calls it, Ganon's arrow, because I remember someone calling it the arrow that you will fire into Ganon when you defeat him. And Ninban now taking on Lanmo 2 here.
Zaen taking care of Viddy with some silver arrows. So weird just seeing that shield floating in midair like that. I'm still amazed every time that Wizrobes are killed by Kina Samaria like that. I just can't do it right with the conveyors. It's just, I can't line it up.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be much better at it, to be honest.
Ether's a good backup for that, though.
Alright, so Ninban finishing up the torch room here. Zaen now making his way up to Ganon's tower. Oh, I feel for him, because you know he's going to have to dig super deep to find that Master Sword.
Now, if the last sword is in that big chest, though, he won't necessarily have to go so deep. He might be able to skip an Ice Armos, potentially. And Ninban's having none of these chests in the upper half.
It's that classic moment. You feel like after all of that, you've got to be behind now. You've got a bum rush.
Penultimate chest is a full heart. And here we go, Trolldorm, round 2.
And with Master Sword, he has a little bit better advantage on this, but not by much. Trolldorm can still troll pretty hard if he wants to.
Hammer is still a better weapon. Is
Zaen
going into T-Rock?
Zaen, what the hell?
He doesn't want to gamble on GT.
All right, the inevitable conclusion is a piece of heart.
No, he's just opening it for later. Okay.
On the off chance he has to do it. Which we thankfully know he doesn't, but gave us a heart attack there, Zaen.
What he might be thinking is check the bottom. If the bottom doesn't hold out, then do a T-Rock dip before going up the gauntlet. Might be the...
It's not a bad call. It's not a bad call.
Ninban's starting the Agatu fight.
Oh, and he had a perfect shot there, and he missed it. All right, let's see if he gets this one. This one's even better. There we go. I think that was a double. At the very least, it was a good, solid single.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's not having much luck here.
Thing about Agatu, you will only see the blue balls from the real one.
That was a nice one. I think that was a triple there for Ninban.
Could have been. Is Zaen gonna play the tiles? No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that takes care of Aghanim 2, and now it's time for the Big Pig.
Yep, going to see the pig at 1:50, and we'll find out what Pearl of Wisdom Ganon has for us today. I think that registered as a double, that potential triple there, because it takes a total of 6 hits. And reading Jigoro in chat.
Alright, Ninban starting his fight with Ganon now. It's gonna be tricky with only Master Sword, but thankfully he does at least have silvers.
Zaen is spinning the Gibdos. And I like this, using the bomb tosses for the crystal switches. The way I usually go through this when I play vanilla.
Most runners use Cane of Samaria for it because it's a little easier to control. This is going to be a decently sized Ganon fight, all things considered. Now, if Zaen gets lucky, if Zaen thinks about it, he could go into that portal there and go straight to the Armo side and save himself some time, in which it looks like that's what he's going to do. Or at the very least, getting the key here.
Oh no, he's not. He's going to do a full clear of the basement.
Well, that's not going to happen. It's game over.
Not like this, Shades. Not like this.
Now he's on to the final phase here. He's going to have to... All he's got to do is whack him and hit him with the arrows to call the game. Couldn't quite get the torch glitch, but oh well.
But the whack still has to be a spin, so that's going to slow him down, especially not having enough time. But the torch is because he failed to get the glitch.
Indeed.
Really just picking hairs at this point.
Ooh, trying to get the double there, but one more to go. Come on.
And there we have it.
Bacon! As Ninban enters the door, he finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 45 seconds.
And yes, Triforce, we did it. Somehow, bootless, we did it.
All right, so Zaen now working his way through. And Ninban now joining us here in the channel. Congratulations on your win there, Ninban. Ninban, can you hear us?
Ninban, can you hear us?
Oh, Zaen, I don't think that might have been an intentional death warp. No, you don't realize what you've done.
Trolled by a mini Moldworm.
Either he got trolled or he intentionally death warped to go the other way. I don't know what he's doing, but that was a big mistake on his part. Oh, dear Lord.
Maybe it was, well, wasn't that Paradox? Wasn't that,
That was Rando Room.
Which I believe is the end of that route, so that might have been on purpose.
I think so, and that was why I say that was a big mistake, because he should have kept going so he could get to the Ice Armos.
But he's gonna check the tile room for us. Ninban, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay! Congratulations again, Ninban.
I forgot to I forgot to branch my mic.
It's okay, dude. It happens. So how you feeling after that one?
That was something. That Master Sword was I mean, what a location to be. Did Zaen
Master
find
sword,
another
nothing. What about that fighter sword?
Oh yeah, that fire source was so late, and I mean, the flippers and pod looked so much progression.
Everything about this seed was just uber trolly. Having to get the hammer to defeat Moldorm just to get a fighter sword, just so you can access Mizurmeyer to get the lamp for everything else. This was trolly beyond all reason.
Indeed.
And we still don't know where one of the swords was. It wasn't from the mushroom because the witch was just buying drugs. Even though we have no idea where the mushroom was.
I have no idea. In Turtle Rock? Ice Palace?
It's gotta be one of those two places that wasn't.
Nobody's checked Ice Palace, so that is entirely possible. The only thing your opponent found that you didn't was a shovel, and it was just for a dig 20.
And did he find a sword elsewhere?
No, he found everything. Everything else, you guys both found the same things. He had to do the same exact stuff you did.
In fact, the first 6 locations you all checked, every pair you checked was in opposite order. So, like, if one of you went one way and the other went the other, when you finished that route, you did what the other did previously. It was hilarious at the beginning.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that VOD.
And yet, with all of that, as trolly as this seed was, you still managed to sub 2 hours. That is a credit to your work, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Zane's checking the big chest.
Just a 5-arrow upgrade.
So he's up.
What is Zaen searching for?
He was searching the big chest in Ganon's tower. He's up. He's heading to the Ice Armos now. So he's about to finally find his master sword.
He's going to have his master sword.
I just say Ice Palace had all the swords. 1 heart.
Yeah, Zaen, you can't bomb jump this. You only have 1 heart.
I guess Ice Palace had all the swords because this dungeon always does.
Well,
but that's just confirmation.
They have the last sword, but we do know that the 3rd sword was in the Lumberjack Cave.
Oh.
I think everybody knew that. Yeah, Agalok.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I haven't checked Lumberjack.
That was where your 3rd sword was in Lumberjack Cave. So it would have been Aga required if we hadn't found the sword in the Ice Armos.
But then where were boots? That we don't
know. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this seed was trolling you at every turn, and in some cases you didn't even know how much it was trolling you.
Yeah, also the upper half of GT has not been checked, so maybe the other sword is up there. Maybe it's not the mushroom leading to it, but the only other item that we know the location of that was not pulled was Quake, I believe, which was on the desert torch.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, both tablets were checked. Now that neither one of them had anything, we still don't know what's in King's Tomb or Bonk Cave because, again, we still don't know where the boots are. I mean, just so much we never found. The fact that you guys even managed to say sub 2 hours, the manage you guys said sub 2:30 is amazing. The fact that you got sub 2 hours is just insane with how trolly the seed was. Again,
I think I got my first sword past the hour mark. I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah. You got your first sword in 1 hour and 23 minutes. We were actually keeping track because of how insane it was.
That is now the latest sword I have personally ever seen.
And yet,
we were actually asking in the commentary chat with the other volunteers here what was the latest sword possible, and someone said they saw an open mode at 1 hour 37. So this might be the latest Keysanity sword so far.
Maybe that's possible.
So how about that lamp?
Oh man, I kind of knew the lamp was going to be soon because of the flippers in Palace of Darkness, and I know that Mizrimaya was one of the only places I could access without those flippers.
Yeah, it's weird in this one. You had to keep track of what do you have and what should you have by logic to try and figure it out.
Yeah, that's why I immediately went to the Batcave after getting my flippers, because I knew either the Batcave or Moldom had a progression item. Turns out they had both. They both had progression items, but I really like both of these items.
There's your clock chiming the 2-hour mark for Zaen. He is currently in the Landmo fight. And that's impressive. 158 on the item rate.
Yeah, but past the point I really just did all dungeons, and it kinda fell through together.
Yeah, so the only real dungeon difference, I think this was the big saver, was Zaen braved the dark rooms through Pod, getting the Helma, and you decided, I'm not gonna have any of that.
Yeah, I usually don't want to do dark rooms without a sword. Not because I don't know how to do them, but because there's so much possibility of losing time.
And
I
trying
don't
to
feel
steal
it's
those
worth it.
turtles and trying to steal those turtles in the dark, just no.
Oh, yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, definite kudos there. The Pyramid Fairy wasn't going to actually prove to be anything either. Zaen, I believe, checked that as well. Money mostly.
Alright, so Zaen now making his way up the torch room here. Holy cow. There's a
Is he
reason
gonna
I can
check
only
these
do...
chests?
No, he's going right for it. He's done.
Oh.
There's a reason I can only do one of these races today, because a race like this could just take it out of you. It's exhausting to watch this stuff.
Heck, one of these a week. I mean, when you schedule these things, since we're on the last weekend here before round 3 starts, do you plan your next race to be a bit later? Oh
Zaen
no!
got trolled armed.
Trolled arm falls 1.
Ding!
Still opting for the hammer.
And here you were saying that was the better option, but obviously it did not prove it to be.
No.
Yeah, the hitbox is so tiny. I had troubles on the first Moldom with the hammer.
Yeah, we saw you took a one fall on that one. But
It also
And
just
also-
kept evading me.
That's why we call him Troll Dorm, ladies and gentlemen.
So now that Trolldorm is done, what do you do when scheduling the next race? Do you give yourself a bit of extra downtime, or does that even come into play in a tournament like this? Going into round 4, facing someone else, green and home.
Well, if they're another European, it will probably be next weekend. Because that's why all my races have been on weekends so far. But no, I don't think about giving myself a break or anything. We'll just go with availabilities.
I personally like watching these really early morning races. With my work schedule, it's the best time for me to catch one live. Except, of course, like now on weekends.
And Zaen now hanging out Aghanim too. It's time for him to take on the big pig now and get his bacon at last. He is probably ready for this race to be over after all this.
So the unknown items at the end: mushroom, boots, and Ice Rod along with the last sword. Everything else, we know where it is. We just might not have picked it up.
Just said because I wanted to call Das Boots.
Yeah, I didn't get to do my yell of what are those? We don't know what they are. We don't know where they are.
What? It's not what are those, it's where are those? Anyway, since they're asking in chat here, let's go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of what's happening the rest, just today. You're asking if there's more races. Oh my God, is there? Because, let's see, right now, it's 4 o'clock. We've actually got several races going on. It's right now. Right on ALTTPR 2, we have a race halfway through, a squad race between Neverplay and Zaen, as well as Hitzion 1337 versus Nipboy. On ALTTPR 3, we have Dawning Dark and Icon, as well as Laffykins versus RV89. Just starting up right now, we also are starting up in about an hour. We have a quad race between Dragon Master 0283 and Azazis, as well as the Profi Gamer versus P Hat Home 666 over on Speed Gaming 4. At 6 o'clock, we're gonna have Dark Shadow 59 versus DeBomb. And we're also at 7, we're gonna have Sigmason versus Strumpet Playa, as well as Hacksaw versus Troopster.
That'll be in a quad.
Yep, that'll be in a quad race. At 8 o'clock, we have another quad race between Someone 325 and Gezel Shaft, as well as the Lost Carol versus Korek over on Speed Gaming. And that's all just today, folks.
Tomorrow's a bit lighter of a day. 10 a.m. We've got Ben and Scooty Puff Jr. 1. At noon, it'll be lunchtime.
Oh,
at lunchtime.
no! Zaen takes a fall!
Ganon Falls 1.
Ding!
2 o'clock, it'll be Nikki Noel tomorrow and Fillion. And 3 o'clock, Yukisaka 0, Jeff Webster. And the last one, 4 o'clock, Kroya and Swerve in the grudge match. Those runners 1 and 1. Once that race finishes, we'll see what the lineups are going to be for week 4.
So needless to say, we've got plenty of races going on. The schedule is available there in the chat if you guys want to check that out. Make sure you follow all of our channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 4, ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4. Of course, Randomania 1 through 4 as well for some other races going on. Not just for Keysanity tournament, but for all of the many tournaments going on here in our community. Trust me, folks, there's plenty of gaming to go around here on these channels.
If your computer's got the processing power, multi-twitch very handy with this race. Oh no!
Oh no! First a fall, then a death.
Get a deaths 1.
Ding!
I think both of our runners could use a midnight snack after this race.
I think they need a lot more than a snack to catch my drift.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question, Ninban. What are you going to be doing after this?
Are we gonna race some more Keysanity?
You are insane. You know that?
Or maybe I'll just continue my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, I think that's what I will do.
Well, it's Keysanity. I mean, you have
Fair point, fair point. Also, Final Fantasy VI, you are a man of good taste, sir.
Agreed.
But don't you like Keysanity?
I like to watch it. I don't race it. I stick to open myself.
Myself, I love to play it. Just because of having more required items.
Teach his own, my friend. Teach his own.
Oh, we had this question earlier, Ninban. Maybe you can answer it. Since you use the invisible Link sprite, what happens if you use the invisible sprite and use the cape? Do we see the sprite?
No, we don't see it. Actually, you saw me use the cape going up to Agadems too. Probably because it made absolutely no difference visually.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't see it.
That's the purpose.
Do you find it's easier with that sprite, or more difficult, or why that sprite of all things? Because we were kind of wondering that early on.
It's not really that much difficult with that sprite. The only thing is you don't have the regular link height or anything to go with, but it's not so hard because all the traits like the bomb jumps and everything, they all rely on the shadow.
So it gets all the extra clutter of the sprite out of the way, maybe making it a bit easier?
A little bit, but not that much.
Zaen takes down the big pig.
Indeed, heads inside, finishes with an official time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 30 seconds. Get your GGs in chat, ladies and gentlemen. This race is now officially over.
Thank goodness.
Yes, as the Triforce says, we did it! Oh, man, what a race.
83 minutes for a sword. And that's also not a part of the logic you really think about and what is actually sword locked, because you think, oh, we could do Ice Palace because we got bombos, but we can't activate bombos because we don't have a sword. That's a fire rod. We can do Skull Woods. Oh wait, there's a curtain in the way.
I almost went into Skullwoods without the sword. I was thinking about it.
Oh, I saw the other week. I saw the other week someone almost drowned the key.
Oh, jeez. Actually, it's funny. You weren't the only one. I saw Zaen getting ready to head into Ice Palace before you guys had the sword because he was like, oh, I've got Bombo, so I'll just do Ice Palace. Oh, wait!
And we saw Rage hand gestures. Can't go Rage punches because there's no sword.
All right. Well, we asked Zaen if he was going to join us in here, but I am not getting a response back from him. Unfortunately, I think he's just done. I quite frankly don't blame him for that.
Yeah, he cleared his timer once that was done. Like, nope, get me out of here. But one last shout out to all those behind the scenes helping us make things happen. Weighty words over on the tracker. Could not have done it without him logging what was in what dungeon for those pens and crystals. I was really hoping for that pen to succeed, but once we got the crystals there, that was not the case. Synac for rolling this horrible seed.
And he is not sorry about it at all.
Nope. He is the king of rolling troll seeds, apparently. And the Shades, it has been a pleasure. Hopefully we weren't brutal on people wearing the headphones today.
Nah, I think we're fine. I didn't get any complaints, so I think I did something right.
I didn't get any complaints. No master shovel that brought my height.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you follow all of our channels here. Like I said before, make sure you also give a follow to all of us here behind the scenes, as well, of course, as our two runners, Ninban and Zaen. They put on an amazing race. Definitely. Thank you, Zaen. Ninban, thank you again for an amazing race. This was fun to watch.
Well, thank you all for all your work.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to wrap things up here. On behalf of everybody here at Speed Gaming, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. My name is The Shades, and as I always like to say, rock on, guys!
See you next time. Bye-bye, and we'll leave you with the last bit of information, Zane's collection rating. See you next time.